So I know it's getting late, and we're going to have a little fun right now.
Little fun.
More than a little.
Just a little.
To my left is Demetri Argyropoulos, who's a very interesting entrepreneur in that he has a slightly different take at how to invest. And Demetri, you have a company called Avant Global. How does Avant Global distinguish itself from other private investment firms? What makes it different?
Well, first of all, we started in 1999 investing in mostly tech companies in Silicon Valley. And the thesis of our business from the beginning was really simple. Create exceptional competitive advantages around businesses. Every business, I never started a fund for one reason, and I'm not saying funds are bad because I'm part of funds, a few of them, but in our business, it's a unique constellation. Every business that we invest in has a unique constellation of relationships. And so a GP or an LP in your fund can't be accessible to every business and have a unique competitive advantage to every business out there. So we bring in unique relationships that give us an exceptional competitive advantage. And that's the basic drive of our interest around investing is can we add meaningful value from the network that we have in order to meaningfully, create value. So that's how we've done it for so long. We've invested in 103 companies and over the last, since we started the company in 1999.
So if I look around the room, I'm sure all of you have had many things pitched, right? There's always opportunity in life. Somebody's reaching out. How do you qualify investment opportunities? I mean, share with us. How do you do the math?
We look at 100 deals. Our team does. I don't. But I do look personally at a number of them. And we will probably invest in about 7 to 10 deals a year, sometimes less, sometimes more. I would say on average about 7 a year. But it goes through a stage gating process. Is it an industry that is going to have a meaningful impact in the world? Does it solve a mission critical problem? Do we have the relationships to move the needle? Can we move the needle with those people? And then we go through a stage gating process like a funnel, and the few that pop out are the ones that we participate in. And do we believe in the industry? Is it big enough for us to be worth our time? Because it takes a lot of energy to do a small deal. It takes a lot of energy to do a big deal. So focus on things that really move the needle for us and for the world at large.
So clearly we're talking about competitive advantage, right? What makes it different? What do you have that others don't? Tell me a little bit more about exceptional competitive advantage. Why this and not the other? What is the value? How do you quantify that?
When you do the same thing long enough and you just show up and you do what you say, people trust you. And if it's not that complicated, but it is, to me, our business is a big puzzle, and it's a big onion, and we have thousands of relationships all over the world in different regions. So when you're architecting, if we decide we're going to participate, and then what are those relationships in that puzzle that are going to really move the needle for that business, and we focus on making those the focal point, bringing those people into that ecosystem, making sure they have a vested interest in the business, making sure they participate, making sure that business has the right constellation of people that give it that extra turbocharge, if you will, to get it to the finish line. And that's an architect. It's to me, it's an art. It's not just a science. It's not just a business. It's really the art of introducing the right people at the right place at the right time. Because at the earliest days of a business when it's starting, it may not be the right time to introduce certain parties and certain partners. So it's all very organized at the right place, right time for the right opportunity.
So you're one of the few people that has actually taken competitive advantage and kind of created a process around it, right? It's not random. There's a process, and that's what leads you to have consistent returns.
Exactly.
And that it's not random, right? It's something you can track.
First of all, this month marks our 25th anniversary of our business. It's hard to believe. I was 22 when I started the business. I'm 47 now. And so, it takes you do that, you build a trust with those types of people. So 48x 49x return, somewhere in there, between 48 and 49 over that period of time is not. And actually, we've been investing only our own capital since 2007, 2008. Started recording our annualized returns in 2008.
Yes, that's impressive, and the energy you have always is something I look and I love about you.
Thank you, sir.
One final question, which I think is the important question, is what are your priorities and goals for the future? Where does Avant Global go from here? I mean, we've seen what you've done. It's impressive.
Yeah.
Where do you go from here?
For me, it's really about doing things that I really love. So, yes, can we solve mission-critical problems? 80% of the time, I like to focus on things that really are great for the world. 20% of the time, and make money. It has to make money. It has to be a win-win for everybody. Otherwise, I should start a nonprofit, right? So,
I'll share, if you don't mind, here an anecdote with everybody as to what you said. There was a guy when I was starting my career, very good businessman, 75 years old, and he comes to me, I'm a young 21-year-old, and he says, Tasso, the most important thing in business is to have fun. So, I'm looking up at him, I was like, okay, I'm writing it down. He said, the second most important thing in business is if you're not making any money, it takes all the fun out of it. So I understand where you're coming from,
exactly.
Demetri.
So that's 80% of the time, you focus on things that are solving a mission-critical problem, working with the smartest minds in the world. That's what drives me. I love waking up every day, getting out of bed and meeting and working with these incredible minds, like the ones we spent lunch with today, for example. So that drives me a lot. That really compels me to do things that are meaningful. And when I can bring my ecosystem into the mix and see the difference, it's like being a casting director. You film the ending of the movie and then you work backwards to present because you already know the outcome because you've done it so many times. We invested in over 103 companies. We've co-founded 18 companies, and so you do it enough times, you get good at it. I'm bad at a lot of things, but I know what I'm good at and I focus on that. That's it.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Demetri Argyropoulos, Avant Global, a company that I think has a lot to do in the future. Demetri, thank you for being with us here,
great to be here
in Davos in 2024, and look forward to seeing you next year.
And thank you, Greek Davos House. We love you guys.
Thank you.